Major celebrity finds himself on the wrong side of the law.
Justin Timberlake arrested in the Hamptons on a DWI charge after police say he blew through a stop sign and veered out of his lane.
I called one of my younger brothers to help me out, and he's here tonight. He goes by the name of Justin Timberlake, y'all.
That's why I don't be going to them puffy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. What you talking about? Look, if you're into that, I'm fine with it. To each his own. I'm just saying this ain't my motherfucking kind of party.
Singer Justin Timberlake was recently arrested, and word on the street is that there might be a connection between his arrest and Diddy's alleged shady dealings. Apparently, the two used to party together, and we all know what kind of parties Diddy has been hosting out here. So what exactly is going on? Justin Timberlake was arrested early Tuesday in the Hamptons and is accused of driving while intoxicated. The singer reportedly told police he had one martini. On Tuesday, the Sag Harbor Police Department released a formal statement sharing details of Timberlake's arrest hours earlier. At 12:37 a.m., the musician was driving a BMW when officers observed him failing to stop at a duly posted stop sign and failing to maintain his lane of travel. A traffic stop was initiated by a police officer from the Sag Harbor Village Police Department, and upon investigation, it was determined that Mr. Timberlake was operating his vehicle in an intoxicated condition, the statement read. The No Angels singer was placed under arrest, processed, and held overnight for morning arraignment. Timberlake was arraigned at the Sag Harbor Village Justice Court at 9:30 a.m. A DA spokesperson also confirmed to Yahoo that Timberlake was arrested for driving while intoxicated. He was arraigned in Sag Harbor Village Justice Court and released on his own recognizance. At this time, we have no further comment, a DA spokesperson said in a statement. Timberlake dined at the American Hotel on Monday night, according to People. He was headed to a friend's home when he was pulled over. He was handcuffed for the hearing, according to the outlet. After news of his arrest began circulating on social media, Timberlake's mugshot was released and soon went viral on X. A post of the photo by Popcrave received thousands of comments, many mocking the singer for his bloodshot eyes that seemed about to cry, and condemning him for driving while drunk. "He looks like he's about to cry," one person commented. A second one added, "I guess it finally gets them all at some point." Attorney Ed Burke, who is representing the singer, told Us Weekly the charge was a single count because he refused the breath test. Mr. Timberlake was also charged with 2 other court citations, running a stop sign and not traveling in the correct traffic lane, he added. Timberlake was photographed leaving court, wearing jeans, a graphic t-shirt, short-sleeve button-down shirt, and a cap. He was accompanied by his attorney as well as 2 other individuals, according to People. The outlet noted that his wife, Jessica Biel, was not present. According to the criminal complaint, which was obtained by NBC News, Timberlake told arresting officers he had one martini and was following friends home. Sag Harbor Village police officer Michael Arkinson wrote in his report it was ascertained Timberlake was driving the BMW in an intoxicated condition and that his eyes were bloodshot and glassy. Arkinson claimed there was a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage was emanating from Timberlake's breath. The singer purportedly had slowed speech, he was unsteady afoot, and he performed poorly on all standardized field sobriety tests. The Hamptons are on New York's Long Island and serve as a summer playground for the rich and famous. Timberlake is currently on the road with his Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Over the weekend, he performed in Tampa and Miami. This weekend, he has 2 shows in Chicago, followed by 2 in New York City on June 25th and 26th. Timberlake's wife, Biel, has been in New York City shooting the Amazon series The Better Sister. On Monday night, she was shooting in Central Park. Biel posted a Father's Day tribute to Timberlake, with whom she shares 2 children, the day before. The arrest has sparked a wave of speculation. Many are questioning whether this was a simple case of a celebrity caught in a moment of poor judgment, or if there is more to the story. Given Timberlake's connections to various high-profile individuals and controversial figures, the latter seems increasingly likely. To understand the potential implications of Timberlake's arrest, one must delve into his associations. Notably, Timberlake has been linked to Ricky D.P. Brascom, a friend and alleged associate of both Timberlake and Sean P. Diddy Combs. Ricky D.P. Brascom, the CEO of Behind DA Scenes Entertainment, led a gang of 14 who shipped nearly 400 kilograms of substances and $4 million in cash between Los Angeles and Baltimore. His brother and partner, Jerome Bro Brascom, was also sentenced at a Los Angeles court and given 6 years. Both pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges after being arrested in 2010 with 12 others during a federal investigation dubbed Operation Snowbird. At the time of his arrest, Ricky Brascom had been living a life of luxury. He was a famous face in rap circles, having produced a music video with P. Diddy, and had been a guest at Justin Timberlake's birthday party in Las Vegas. According to investigators at the time, behind the scenes he was actually running a drug ring, which bought large amounts of nose candy in Los Angeles, arranged for them to be flown to Baltimore, and oversaw its distribution in the city. Suitcases full of cash were then transported back to LA. During a 6-week period, the ring transported more than 390 kilograms of nose candy and more than $4 million in drug cash, according to court documents. Because of the fact he had a lot of money, he got to live in the world the rest of us don't live in, Assistant U.S. Attorney Rob B. Valeza told the Daily Beast in November 2010. They were using the smaller model planes that don't require a crew. There are no security measures that will examine or inspect what is in your luggage. He added, "Charter jets are really expensive. It can range from $20,000 to $50,000 a flight. But if you are flying nose candy worth millions of dollars and your profit is substantially more than $50,000, you might determine it is a wise investment." These connections raise questions about how deeply Timberlake might be involved in Brascom's illicit activities. Could Timberlake's recent arrest be a gateway for authorities to investigate these connections further? The Hamptons have long been a refuge for the rich and famous, a place where privacy is paramount and legal troubles are often quietly handled. However, history has shown that even this sanctuary is not immune to high-profile legal incidents. Singer Billy Joel and homemaking entrepreneur Martha Stewart have both had their run-ins with the law in the Hamptons, although their cases were quite different from Timberlake's current predicament. Billy Joel was charged with catching striped bass illegally during a protest against fishing regulations in 1992, and Martha Stewart was accused of intentionally backing her car into a landscaper amid a feud with her neighbor in 1997. More recently, former NBA star Jason Kidd faced a DWI charge in 2012. Yet none of these cases involve connections to drug smugglers or the potential for larger criminal investigations. What makes Timberlake's situation even more intriguing are the rumors of leaked tapes that could potentially involve him. These tapes, allegedly showing intimate moments between high-profile individuals, have become a focal point for speculation. While there is no concrete evidence that Timberlake appears in these tapes, the mere possibility has sent shockwaves through Hollywood. The entertainment industry is no stranger to scandals, but the potential involvement of A-list celebrities in such tapes could be devastating. The tapes are rumored to include footage of clandestine meetings and activities that could implicate several prominent figures. Given Timberlake's close relationships with individuals like Jimmy Kimmel, whose chef was reportedly linked to Jeffrey Epstein's infamous island, and his business dealings with the disgraced Harvey Weinstein, the stakes are incredibly high.
You're no doubt aware, took action last year to expel Harvey Weinstein from their ranks. There were a lot of great nominees, but
Timberlake's association with Harvey Weinstein adds another layer of complexity to this unfolding drama. Weinstein, a former Hollywood mogul, was convicted of numerous S crimes and has been accused by multiple women of S misconduct. Timberlake's business dealings with Weinstein have come under scrutiny, with many wondering how deep their professional relationship went and whether Timberlake was aware of Weinstein's activities. One particularly intriguing aspect of Timberlake's connection to Weinstein involves Anthony Bourdain. Sources suggest that Weinstein was instrumental in getting Bourdain's hit show off the ground, but there was allegedly a trade-off involved. Bourdain, it is rumored, had to become an errand boy for individuals involved in inhumane activities at a hidden Scientology location. While these claims remain unverified, they add to the web of conspiracy theories surrounding Timberlake's current situation. One fan seemingly commented on the involvement of Timberlake with these elites, saying, "In the ending of Supplies by Justin Timberlake, where he is pointing at trafficked-looking young ones and saying, 'L got supplies,' and while the ending pretty much says it all, go watch this now, and then consider who his friends are and what they are involved in. This is by no means unintentional. These artists are used as mules in this industry to peddle M's to the elite. The arrest of Timberlake could not have come at a more critical time. Federal authorities are reportedly building an airtight case against P. Diddy, who has long been suspected of various criminal activities. For context, in November, Combs' former longtime partner R&B singer Cassie Ventura accused the music mogul of repeated R and physical AB spanning nearly a decade. In her lawsuit, Ventura, who was signed to Combs' record label, said she was trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of AB and SA. Ventura cited numerous instances of graphic AB in her lawsuit, including alleged instances where Combs punched, beat, kicked, and stomped her. Combs and Ventura settled the lawsuit one day after she filed. However, 2 other lawsuits were brought up against the hip-hop mogul. In one lawsuit, Joey Dickerson-Neal said she was drugged and essayed by Combs in 1991. Dickerson-Neal appeared alongside Combs in a music video for the Finesse and Cinque song Straight from the Soul. Dickerson-Neal accused him of slipping an unknown substance into her drink and then essaying her. In her lawsuit, she claimed he shared a recording of the R with other men in the music industry as a form of revenge P. A third woman accused Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall of essaying her and a friend at an apartment in the early 1990s. The woman, identified only as Jane Doe, said she and her friend were coerced into being intimate with them. Meanwhile, Diddy has also received a 4th lawsuit, and this one might actually be worse than the rest. This time, a woman who was 17 in 2003 has filed a lawsuit against the former billionaire, claiming he and a group of men attacked her inside of a recording studio. In the explosive lawsuit filed on Wednesday, Jane Doe claimed that she met Harvey and the 3rd assailant at a lounge in Detroit. Pierre repeatedly complimented Miss Doe's appearance, saying that she was hot, among other things. He then began talking about his self-described best friend and brother, Diddy. Specifically, Pierre continually stated that Diddy would love to meet Jane Doe. Pierre even called Diddy and put Jane Doe on the line. Diddy told the lady that he would love to meet her and that she should accompany Pierre to New York City in a private jet. Shortly thereafter, Pierre directed her to go with him into the bathroom at the lounge. Once inside the bathroom, Pierre began to smoke nose candy from what appeared to be an aluminum can. After he finished smoking, Pierre suddenly demanded that the young lady conduct oral S on him. After essaying her, Pierre directed the lady to accompany him, the 3rd assailant, and a 3rd member of their group to an airport in Pontiac, Michigan, where Signature, a fixed-base operator, had prepared a private jet to take the 4 of them to New York City. Upon information and belief, the private jet landed at Teterboro Airport. Upon departing the jet, 2 black SUVs were awaiting the group. Miss Doe got into an SUV with Pierre and the 3rd assailant, and the other member of the group went in the 2nd SUV. The SUVs brought the group to Diddy's house recording studio, a recording studio and hangout owned and operated by Diddy and Bad Boy. When Miss Doe arrived, she was escorted into the building, where she distinctly remembers seeing a sign for the company, Technicolor. Upon entering the studio, Miss Doe first encountered Diddy. At the time she arrived, a female recording artist was using the studio as Diddy and her parents watched on. She finished up shortly after Miss Doe arrived and left. While still in the studio section of Diddy's house, Diddy asked the lady to sit on his lap to take a picture. Diddy, Pierre, and the 3rd assailant began to ply Miss Doe, a 17-year-old child at the time, with copious amounts of substances and intoxication. While the evening became a blur, Miss Doe does recall Diddy, Pierre, and the 3rd assailant hitting on her and touching her inappropriately. In February, Combs' former producer and videographer filed a federal lawsuit against the mogul, alleging Combs harassed, drugged, and threatened him. According to the lawsuit, Rodney Lil Rod Jones worked on Combs' most recent album, Love, and lived with him between September 2022 and November 2023. Jones alleges he was the victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his A by Mr. Combs. On one occasion, the lawsuit claims, Jones woke up naked and disoriented in bed with Combs and 2 S-workers. He alleges the music mogul drugged him. The complaint also claims that, in his role as Combs' videographer, Jones secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. In April, a separate lawsuit was filed against Combs' son, Christian Combs, in which a woman alleged that the 26-year-old drugged her and essayed her on a yacht chartered by the music mogul in December 2022. The suit also names Combs as a defendant. In her complaint, Grace O'Marquet accused the rapper of aiding aiding and abetting his son, alleging that he is liable as the person who chartered the boat. Omar K., who worked on the yacht as a steward, also claimed she witnessed partying and drug use between celebrities and constant rotation of suspected S-workers. Then, in May, another suit was filed in federal court by Crystal McKinney, who alleges Combs forced her to perform oral S on him in 2003. The lawsuit was brought under New York City's Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Act, which gives survivors a 2-year look-back window to file civil claims against their alleged abusers after the statute of limitations has passed. The former model claims that she met Combs when she was 22 during a Men's Fashion Week event in New York. The lawsuit says the rapper invited McKinney back to his recording studio, where she was allegedly given alcohol and marijuana that she believes was laced. Later in the evening, Combs allegedly took McKinney to the bathroom where he pushed her head near his crotch. The lawsuit says that McKinney refused to perform oral S on Combs, but he forced her to do so anyway. She claims she lost consciousness and regained it hours later during a cab ride, where she realized she had been sexually assaulted. Combs has yet to comment on the allegations. On May 24th, April Lampros became the 7th person to file a suit against Combs, accusing him of drugging and assaulting her over several years beginning in 1995, per NBC. Lampros claims she first met Combs in 1994 when she was a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology. She alleges that the next year she met up with him at a bar, and although she didn't typically drink, she says she gave in to pressure from Combs to do so because of his delusional and violent outbursts. After a few sips, Lampros felt uneasy and like the walls were closing in on her. Lampros says she was guided into a car that took her and Combs to a hotel where he forcibly kissed and grabbed her. Despite her telling him to stop and saying that she felt unwell, Miss Lampros was being awed by Mr. Combs, and she soon passed out, the lawsuit claims. Lampros says that after the incident, Combs wooed her back by sending lavish gifts and flowers. Per NBC, the lawsuit includes a photo of a handwritten Valentine's Day card signed from Puffy. Combs allegedly assaulted Lampros for a second time later in 1995, when she claims he forced her to perform oral S in a parking garage near his Manhattan apartment. After the incident, she says he became angry and threatened to physically hurt her after she made the decision to distance herself from him. Mr. Combs would also threaten to blacklist her in the industry if she tried to mess with him in any way, according to the suit. Lampros claims that Combs assaulted her a third time in 1996, forcing her and his then-girlfriend, Kim Porter, to take ecstasy and have S with one another. Lampros says that she vocally opposed this idea, but Combs reminded her that he could make her lose her job, the suit claims. Lampros claims that Combs watched the women while he pleased himself before essaying her. Lampros says she severed ties with Combs in 1998 but ran into him at an event in the early aughts. Though she refused to leave with him, she says she later allowed him to come to her home, where he began to kiss and touch her against her will. She alleges that years later, in 2023, she learned that Combs had recorded an S encounter with her and shown it to several people. In any case, Timberlake's connections to P. Diddy and Ricky Brascom place him in a precarious position. Authorities may use Timberlake's arrest as an opportunity to bring him in for questioning and potentially leverage any information he might have about his associates. The possibility that Timberlake could be implicated in a broader investigation is a tantalizing prospect for those following the case. The entertainment industry, already reeling from the Me Too movement and the downfall of powerful figures like Weinstein, could face another major scandal if Timberlake or other A-list celebrities are found to be involved in illegal activities. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.